Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to the inaugural edition of Thrift Adventures Knuckle Deep in the Heap. Mikey Bananas here with you from the Grown Man Record Night channel. I know we've not done a video like this before ever on the channel's history. If you're not familiar with Grown Man Record Night, if you're a loyal subscriber, first of all, thank you. If you're somebody that just kind of happened on this video because it's kind of new and different, let me just hip you a little bit of what Grown Man Record Night is. Grown Man Record Night is a live program that we do each Friday night on Ustream, where we stream music, and then we do a little talk show that I upload to the YouTube channel where we talk about vinyl records, music news, everything shit going on in music. I mean, we get into particulars about pressings and bands, and I mean, it's pretty intricate. It's been going on for a couple of years. We got over a couple hundred episodes. It's a great time. We like our libations. We have a good time, have some good fellowship on a Friday night, and it's a good time. But there are challenges and limitations to doing a live program like that, of course. You know, we can't edit things down and make shit slick, even though we kind of know what the hell we're doing. So over the course of the years and looking for vinyl records, I've realized that there is many more things out there than just records that I run into, especially when you're going through the thrift stores. Now, I'm lucky in that my job carries me across a certain area, probably within an hour radius of home base. And while I'm out, I hit a good solid rotation of thrift stores every week, because every day I may be in a different city, and if I'm in this city, it may have been a month since I've been in thrift stores in this city. So I'm able to just kind of rotate through and make sure that I check all the thrift stores on the regular. And that's the key to success. And I've told people this before. It's like, how do you find shit like that at a Goodwill? And it's like, it's not because I'm lucky, or you know, sometimes I'm lucky, and shit falls in my lap. It's because I'm hitting these places time and time again, weeks and weeks and weeks of bullshit, not having anything to show for it. And then all of a sudden, ba-doink, there it is. So I'm lucky in the fact that my job allows me to go to all these different thrift stores and travel around and do all this. But in the course of doing all this, I've realized that there's much more out there than vinyl records. We got, you know, a couple thousand here in the spot, and that's definitely my main collecting goal is vinyl records. But I've realized over the course of time that I've become a little more than casual video game collector, classic retro stuff. I think I have bypassed the casual category of that, and I'll get into that a little more later. But not only that, let's talk about what am I looking for while I'm at these thrift stores. Vinyl records, of course, classic video games, weirdo VHS shit, those old monster movies and stuff. We like to look at them sometimes with the sound turned down while we're listening to records on Friday night. Even the occasional like toy or something, you know. I mean, there's lots of things that has popped up, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. It's not a record, but now I'm out and I'm digging and I'm buying all this shit, and it's getting a little out of control, especially on the video game tip. But that's all right. We enjoy a lot of games here in the house, whether it be classic shit or new shit, and so that's the kind of stuff we're gonna be looking for. And this is all, you know, I'm not a reseller. I don't put this shit back on eBay and stuff and make my money back. Maybe I will one day. Maybe I should be doing that. I don't know. But this is all cheap shit. I mean, none of this is really stuff that I've really went out and spent a lot of money on. And so that's what I'm the most proud of, is the fact that this shit is just legit thrift store scores. And have a lot of fun doing it. And it's the one thing that keeps me sane doing my job, which can be a little stressful at times. So sit back and relax, grab your favorite libation. This is probably the most sober I've ever been on YouTube ever right now, which is kind of weird. Yeah, I know I'm drinking High Life because I'm a redneck, shut up. So sit back and enjoy the very first episode of Thrift Adventures, Knuckle Deep in the Heap. All right, let's get it going, for crying out loud. Let's get crazy with the cheese whiz here. It's time to enter the world of thrift. But. Sorry, got kind of sidetracked there. Yeah, there's always cool shit to look at in thrift stores, whether it's ridiculous toys or just the inordinate amount of gospel records. I don't know if it's like this in the North and the South. you were just littered with tons and tons and tons of religious records, and Lawrence Welk, of course. And you run into this stuff. Look at these motherfuckers, oh, for crying out loud. But yeah, and you know, my family was in a gospel group, so that keeps me looking out for copies of their records from back in the day. Which, man, I mean, wait. Look at these people. Now, when we toured that city, that's the city? That's heaven? They got a blueprint of heaven? They knew what heaven was going to look like enough for somebody to draw it out into anyhow. But, I mean, look at this. This is one Goodwill, and it's just this many gospel records, and I'll be interested to see if it's like this up north. All the things that you find inside of a thrift store, from plates and cups to a car escape hammer, and it's already gift wrapped. So, okay. So, yeah, actually some games. PS2 titles. Not terrible titles. It's not all sports. Let's see, a Dragon Ball Z game. Oh, and NBA 06. Okay. Great. Let's see what else is in here. Let's see. Ghost Recon, I don't need that. Hey, that's a pretty decent game. The Kingdom of Hearts Disney game on the PS2. Killing me, Smalls. Kidding me. Oh, okay. Let's see what else is up here. Zibba Zabba Zabba. Some sports, some Sims. No. Well, Need for Speed. That's fun to play. Let's see what's... Madden 07. Fan-fucking-tastic. I'm so happy that happened. Is there anything up here? Tekken 4. I wonder what's in here. I wonder what's a Dance Dance... Oh, no, it's actually Tekken 4. That's pretty cool. All right. Good enough. Of course, I found out later I actually own that. Hey, you guys ever pick up PC games? I don't ever do this. This was Sonic Riders for PC. I don't really know shit about it, and I kind of looked it up. It's not like super rare or anything. But I don't know. I didn't end up buying that, but this I did end up buying. Complete second season of KRP. I didn't actually put that in the pickup video. I forgot. So anyhow, there it was. Oh my God. That is the best and worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life, Tony Brothers. You creepy motherfuckers. Yeah, more religious records. I mean, just stacks and stacks of stacks. Imagine you have to go through this many stacks of records to come up with something good. Oh, a banana! I should have totally bought this, and I didn't because I'm stupid. I'm Mikey Bananas, and I should have bought this banana. Damn it. Oh, I didn't put this in the pickup video either, and I forgot. Maybe I didn't. I was unable to see him. Little John Cena figure. I picked that up for like 69 cents. Bob Merma Band, that's not bad. Some other bullshit. You see that Firestone Christmas shit everywhere. Oh, Sandy Nelson. Great record. Sandy Nelson puts out some great records in the 60s. And let's see. Let's take a look at this. Okay, the cover split. I can see that. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, it looks like somebody's written on it with a screwdriver. Hey, Knockers Up. Words to live by. You know what I'm saying? More bullshit in this. This was a real rural Goodwill, way out in the middle of the sticks, and it was just, again, Pete Fountain at least. Okay. Oh shit! Check this out. Now I didn't end up buying this Game Boy. It was $20, decent shape, but I don't know, man. That's like an eBay price. I just couldn't do it, man. A couple of VHS tapes I picked up. So I forgot to show the Halloween on the pickups. Halloween 2. Ed Wood's Playing Out from Outer Space, and The Brain That Wouldn't Die. Also got a couple of PS2 controllers that were in the glass up front, but only $1 a piece. I mean, can't argue with that. Here's a... oh my Lord, my soul has been voided. Another stack of religious records. Look, I couldn't come in. I was very excited because this is a pretty large setup of records for a Goodwill, and not a damn good one in the whole bunch. I mean, every single one of these was baloney, and you know, that's the way it goes. You know, over here I found a wrestling DVD. It was like the new version of the D-Generation X stuff from like 2006, and I was like, I'm not really. And it was like a 3-disc set, and so they were like, oh, it's 3 discs, so it's $3, and I'm like, yeah. If this was a buck, I'd have probably picked it up and give it to somebody, but I didn't. And I found this Xbox game, Fusion Frenzy. It's like a bunch of mini games. I wasn't familiar with this. I've never been an Xbox guy. I don't own an Xbox, but it was a buck. So I picked it up anyway. And one of these days I'll get an Xbox. More about that later. But yeah, it seemed pretty cool. I looked some videos up on YouTube, and it seemed like a pretty decent little collection of mini games. Always zipping through the CDs to see if there's any great bands that stand out, or maybe even a PS1 or Dreamcast game, or God forbid a TurboGrafx. I actually picked up a couple of TurboGrafx games just a month or two ago. Some really good titles. Aero Blasters was one of them, and Vigilante was the other. So, you know, just when you think of like, I'm not looking through all these damn CDs. I mean, you need to, because that's what the hell happened to me, and that's what happens. Battleship, no thanks. Moving on. What the hell else is good in here? I actually have this all-time bloopers record right there, and I actually have this record too, and that's why I left this for some other collector to pick up. The Roberta Flack First Take, terrific LP, 69 Atlantic I think it is, and it actually has her version of Compared to What on it. Man, look at this! I've scored the major haul of Xbox games that are not sports titles. Oh my God! I'm so glad to have found these. That's a double cart right there. And Metal Slug 3, one of my favorite all-time games.
We scored!
I don't own an Xbox, but now I'm going to have to pick one up because I found all these games. I probably should have bought more of these games, to be honest with you, because there was more here that I just kind of left out. If you can see right there, I should have just picked up all of those games. But I also picked up a Genesis game in a game store. I picked up The Legend of Kage in, not Cage, Kage. In a game store. That was the biggest item I picked up this whole damn video. It was $5. And a couple of dollar PS2 games. Power Drum, which wasn't so bad. And this 18-wheeler American Pro Trucker. I have no idea why I bought it. Yes, I do. It was $1, and I thought it was funny. So that's why I bought it. A GameCube game. I don't have a damn GameCube. Legends of Wrestling 2. And a big stack of records that I didn't pick up on camera. I just felt like a hand job standing up there filming myself. It was in the front of the store, and you know, I already work for media, and people would have been looking at me. But you know, a lot of cool stuff in here. Okay, so that was pretty much it. That was pretty much my month of February in thrift stores. You know, yeah, some good, some bad, yeah. And that's the struggle, man. That's the for real struggle right there. It's not always you know, Beatles butcher cupboards and Little Samsons on Nintendo. Sometimes you scrape out the cool PS2 title that's not rare but fun to play, and you know, you pull up a record that you know, is worth a few dollars, but it's also just one that you don't have and you really enjoy listening to, and that's what it's all about. And so let's get to some of the pickups. I picked up let's see, 3 total PS2 games. Which that's normally what I find the most, I would say, is the easiest to kind of collect for, and thrift store wise for me, at least in my area, is the PS2. And of course, like anything else, you'll run into the shit tons of sports titles and bullshit that you don't want, Dance Dance Revolution or whatever. But you'll, if you like I said, if you put your time in, you keep going out, you keep going out, you keep going out, you'll run into the occasional either hidden gem of something that's worth, you know, some money, or more importantly for me is a game that's actually fun to play, and that's even better. I would rather have a game that's fun to play than one that's worth money, because hell, if it's worth a shit, I don't want to get rid of it anyway. So I don't give a shit how much it's worth, unless my girlfriend needs to sell it off or bail to come get me out of jail for, you know, hacking a bunch of people up with a machete or something. Not that that's gonna happen. All right. Well, in that one, this is actually a double I picked up. I didn't realize I had this, but in that the video, you see me going through the PS2 games. They all got the wrong disc or no disc in there. But the one that did have was Tekken 4, which is a pretty good game on PS2. This has got a little Fruitful Life Ministry sticker on there. I don't know what that's about, but it's in some kind of looks like maybe a rental case or something. It doesn't have the manual. And turns out I've already got it complete in box and didn't remember that. So I don't know. Maybe I'll give that away to somebody that will enjoy it or some shit. I actually went into a game store, if you can believe this, an actual game store, and picked up 2 PS2 titles that were $1 a piece. Now, when you hear the names of the games, you'll realize why they're $1 a piece. Not what you would consider top tier games, but sometimes when we're in the other room, we're playing some records on Friday night, we're enjoying some video games on the side there. I mean, some cornball bullshit games are fun too. You know, during the week I'll sit here by myself and really get zoned in on some shit, but for funsies, sometimes I'll pick up stuff. This is one I picked up just because I knew it had to be terrible. And I've played it once so far and I don't really have a really honest opinion on it yet. So I'll give it its day in court. 18-wheeler American Pro Trucker. Yeah, looks like you're racing 18-wheelers. You're racing across the country to earn a living and a pretty decent 401k and benefits package. Is that what it is? I don't know. Complete in box for $1. And this was kind of just some shit that's campy. So I don't know, I picked it up for $1. And again, a game store. Another one, this one is not so bad really. And it's not one I'd ever heard of. It's a game called Power Drome on the PS2, come out of Argonaut Studios. And it's kind of one of those sci-fi racer-y type games, kind of like a Wipeout XL or something like that, you know, where you're racing kind of weirdo, you know. Oh, it's actually in my PS2 in there. But not bad. It's a little fun little racer, little sci-fi racer. For $1, I don't think that's bad at all. It may not be worth shit, but it's, you know, it's worth throwing in after a few beers and you want to challenge the other people in the room to a sci-fi racing battle. So those are the PS2 pickups this week. I did pick up, I don't own a GameCube. And you know, we're going to talk about this. I think when I said before that, you know, I'm not I kind of bypassed the casual gamer tag and into more serious business when I started buying games for consoles that I don't freaking own. And that I think that's the jumping off point. That's when it really turns into something else, is when it's something you just don't own. So, I don't know. I'm going to get a GameCube one day. I got one kind of on hold right now from a guy that I can pick one up. It's got the Game Boy player on it. We'll talk about that some other time. This is Legends of Wrestling 2. My New Year's resolution was to watch more pro wrestling, and I've been doing that. It's the only New Year's resolution I've kept. I've not watched wrestling in like 20 years, for reals. And I've been really enjoying it this year. I like it. After a few beers, I actually got the girlfriend into it. But this is an acclaimed game. It's not, I don't know. It looks pretty cool. We'll see when I pick up the GameCube that Buddy's got on hold right now. This is the real deal. One of them, this one Goodwill, really didn't have shit, and then all of a sudden, there's just Xbox games galore down here. I mean, not like super rare shit, but there weren't sports games. It wasn't garbage games. I definitely don't see Xbox as much as I do PS2 around here. And there's just all these Xbox games, and I actually turned some down I probably should have picked up. But the ones I did pick up, Worms 4, Mayhem. I've heard good things about the Worms series of games, that they're actually pretty fun to play. That reboot of Defender, which I hear is a pretty damn fun game, actually worth a few dollars, maybe $10 or something like that. And I got this kind of double cart thing, the Sega GT 2002, and the other side is Jet Set Radio. And I've been really wanting to play Jet Set Radio Future. I've been really wanting to play Jet Set Radio. I've heard really good things about that game. It's cool. It's in that little double pack, so it's actually 2 games for $1. So you can't go wrong there. And there's some mech games I ran into. Gunmetal. I don't know anything about these games, folks. Gunmetal, from mech to jet and back. It's an interesting tag on there. I really don't know anything about that, but it looks pretty cool. I like mech games. I like the idea of mech games. I've not spent a tremendous amount of time playing them. Limited edition Mech Assault 2 Lone Wolf. That's a cool cover right there. I love the Mech Assault games. I've not really spent a lot of time playing them, but I think I'd enjoy them. And the original Mech Assault, also picked that up for $1. And the one at the very back of the thing, when I saw this is without a doubt what I was the most excited about over this whole month of picking shit up, is Metal Slug 3. Probably my favorite arcade franchise ever. And I've actually purchased this on the PS4. I bought it when it was on sale. I got Metal Slug 3, and now I own it on the Xbox. If I ever get an Xbox. And I know a guy that's got one and probably hooked me up with a pretty decent deal. So I'm sure I'll get one along with a GameCube. Speaking of which, for this next video that we're gonna do for the next month's worth of pickups, I will say, I'll give this much away. I do pick up a new console next month, in the next month's video. So that's something to look forward to, a new console and a bunch of other games. And also something weird, my mom works at the library. There's some cool monster books from childhood that you may actually remember as well. So that's coming up on the next episode. So we hope you enjoyed this Thrift Adventures Knuckle Deep in the Heap, the inaugural first episode. It's been pretty cool and interesting to document all this crazy bullshit that I run into when I'm out sifting through the thrift. And so, you know, if you, like I said, like and subscribe to the channel. Watch Grown Man Record Night if you never have, if you're a music fan, and look for more episodes of Thrift Adventures, Thrift Adventures, Knuckle Deep in the Heap. We'll have more of those coming at you soon, we hope. So thanks again, and we'll see you next time.